श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रकाशं च प्रवृत्तिं च मोहमेव च पाण्डव न द्वेष्टि सम्प्रवृत्तानि न निवृत्तानि काङ्क्षति उदासीनवदासीनो गुणैर्यो न विचाल्यते गुणा वर्तन्त इत्येव योऽवतिष्ठति नेङ्गते समदुःखः सुखस्वस्थः समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः तुल्यप्रिया प्रियो धीरः तुल्यनिन्दात्मसंस्तुतिः मानापमानयोस्तुल्यः तुल्यो मित्रारिपक्षयोः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी गुणातीतः स उच्यते मां च यो व्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीत्यैतान् ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम् अमृतस्याव्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे गुणत्रयविभागयोगो नाम चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः। ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। श्रीभगवानुवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्। हरि ओम सुमाजी, could you please share the screen and
Yeah,
help in taking care?
we have to do from here, right? 23. The characteristics of a wise person.
I went for long kriya yesterday, my dear, so I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah, Brahmaraji read this. So we will repeat this from here. The characteristic of a wise person.
Okay,
So
I
we
will just read the
begin
shloka
from,
and kindly please go
yeah.
ahead with the rest. Yeah. Dhanyavad, Sumaji. उदासीनवदासीनो गुणैर्यो न विचाल्यते गुणा वर्तन्त इत्येव योऽवतिष्ठति नेङ्गते समदुःखसुखस्वस्थः समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः तुल्यप्रिया प्रियो धीरस्तुल्यनिन्दात्मसंस्तुतिः मानापमानयोस्तुल्यः तुल्यो मित्रारिपक्षयोः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी गुणातीतः स उच्यते यः हि हु उदासीनवत् आसीनः remaining seemingly indifferent gunaihi by the gunas na vichalyate is not shaken yah he who Gunaha vartante iti eva. The gunas alone are acting, thus thinking. Avatishtati abides, na ingate, the one who does not move from the vision of himself. Yaha udasinavata asina, yaha udasinavata asinah gunaihi na vichalyate, yaha guna vartante iti eva avatishtati na ingate. Dhiraha, a wise man, sama dukkha sukha, who is the same with reference to pleasure and pain, swasthaha, who abides in oneself, sama loshta ashma kanchanaha, who is the same with reference to a clod of earth, a stone or gold, tulya priya apriyaha, who is the same in pleasant and unpleasant situations, tulya ninda atma samstutihi, who is the same with reference to censure or praise of himself. Dhiraha samadukhaha samadukha sukhaha samadukha sukhaha swasthaha samaloshtak ashma kanchanaha tulya priya apriyaha tulya ninda atma samstutihi mana apamana yoho tulyaha, who is the same towards respect and insult. Mitra aripakshayoho tulyaha, the same towards the views of a friend or an enemy. Sarva arambha parityagi, the one who has given up all undertakings. Guna atitaha, one who is beyond the gunas. Saha uchyate, he is called. Mana apamanayoho tulyaha mitra aripakshayoho tulyaha sarvarambha parityagi gunatitaha saha uchyate.
He,
Who, yeah, please go ahead, Sumaji. Dhanyavad.
thank you. He who, remaining seemingly indifferent, is not shaken by the gunas, and he who abides in himself, thinking that the gunas alone are acting, and that one who does not move from the vision of the self. The wise man, who is the same with reference to pleasure and pain, abiding in himself, the same with reference to a clod of earth, a stone, or gold, the same in pleasant and unpleasant situations, the same with reference to censure or praise of himself, who is the same towards respect and insult, the same towards the views of a friend or an enemy, who has given up all undertakings. He is called the one who's beyond the gunas. Remaining seemingly indifferent, he is not shaken by the gunas. A person who is udasina remains uncommitted to any particular stand. When two people are arguing, a third person who's just watching without joining either side is udasina. He is merely a witness, indifferent to both views, without any opinion to offer. We all have this disposition towards many things. To a bush growing on the wayside, you are likely to be absolutely indifferent. Even regarding certain topics, you are udasina because you do not have an opinion to which you are committed. Asina literally means sitting or seated, but in the context here, it means being committed to the means of accomplishing gunati, gunatitva, gunati tattva. Hmm. So we are committed to the means of accomplishing gunati tattva. Gunati tattva. Transcendence of the guna. Whether sattva guna, rajo guna, or tamo guna is predominant, he does not want to change it. He accepts the mind as it is, allowing the gunas to manifest without any interference or identification on his part, having no preference for any one of them over the other. He is like one who is indifferent, udasinatvat, udasinavat. That sannyasi who knows the Atma and is therefore a wise man is not taken away from his knowledge by the expression of the gunas. If can we all mute ourselves,
काय
please?
करतात चल आता उठले मग काय ते सगळं रेडी ठेवलं ते ए जरा थांब बघा कौस्तुभ हे बघ बाद होते खराब होते जरा थांब गडबड करू नकोस
Madhuri
बडबडू
ji,
नको
knowing that, okay, I'll read this. That sannyasi who knows the Atma and is therefore is a wise man is not taken away from his knowledge by the expression of the gunas. If anybody complains that Rajoguna or Tamoguna robs him of his knowledge, that is not the knowledge we are talking of here. The gunas affect only the body mind sense complex, never the Atma, and therefore never the vision of Atma once it is clearly known. Knowing that gunas alone act, he does not lose vision of his self. As he says in the next line of the verse, the gunas are active, guna vartante. Here this means that the gunas have modified themselves to become both the world and the body-mind sense complex. Rajoguna accounts for the prana and the organs of action. Sattva-guna for the organs of knowing and the antarkarana. And the Tamo-guna has converted itself into the five elements which have undergone bifurcation and five-fold combination to become this whole physical creation. So everything here that we know is nothing but the three gunas. Whatever you perceive or infer or even imagine is a manifestation of guna. And these gunas transact business among themselves. You are not involved at all in reality. Though you are very much with all of them, you remain unaffected by all of them. That is the truth that the Shastra reveals. The one who abides in that avatishtati does not move, na ingate, from the nature of himself. He is free from all these gunas, remaining as himself alone, undisturbed by the changes that the gunas undergo. The
Can you read
conduct,
again that
yeah. Knowing that gunas alone act, he does not lose vision of himself, of his self. As he says in the next line of the verse, the gunas are active, gunavartante. Here, this means that the gunas have modified themselves to become both the world and the body-mind sense complex. Rajoguna accounts for the prana and the organs of action. Sattva-guna for the organs of knowing and the antarkarana. And The tamoguna has converted itself into the 5 elements which have undergone bifurcation and 5-fold combination to become this whole physical creation. So, everything here that we know is nothing but the 3 gunas. Whatever you perceive or infer or even imagine is a manifestation of guna. So, whatever you perceive or infer or even imagine is a manifestation of guna. All these gunas transact business among themselves. You are not involved at all in reality. Though you are very much with all of them, you remain unaffected by all of them. That is the truth that the Shastra reveals. The one who abides in that avatishtati does not move, na ingate, from the nature of himself. He is free from all these gunas, remaining as himself alone, undisturbed by the changes that the gunas undergo. The conduct of a gunatita. Here is a person for whom pleasant and unpleasant are the same. Samadukha, dukkha, sukha. Certain situations are conducive for happiness, sukha, and certain others are pain, dukkha. These two types of situations born out of one's present karma or previous karma keep presenting themselves to any person. How is one going to face them? For one who knows the self, they are the same. This is not purely an attitude which we cultivate as a sadhana. This is not purely an attitude as we cultivate as a sadhana. We learn to appreciate the sukha and dukkha as factual and take them not just objectively but as prasada. So from attitude, we have to move towards accepting them as prasada. Because of the appreciation of Ishvara, there is a glad acceptance and an appropriate response in terms of action. This is Karma Yoga. Here, however, Krishna is talking about a gunatita. If there is sukha seen in the mind created by sattva guna or dukkha created by rajas, all of which are possible for him because of the various situations that present themselves, he takes them as the same. He is not affected by either. So, this explanation of Karma Yoga I liked. Move from attitude to acceptance as prasada. So, when you accept this as prasada from Ishvara, and because of the appreciation of Ishvara, there is a glad acceptance and an appropriate response in terms of action. So, what comes to me in my mind is gratitude comes. Feeling very grateful that the divine has given whatever sukha or dukkha as prasada. Then your response will be accordingly, not with sadness or anger or joy. It will be in response to your appreciation of Ishvara. And this is Karma Yoga. It's very nice. Swastha has 2 meanings. Anyone wants to add anything on this? You're on mute, Sarlaji.
Oh, sorry. What is that appropriate response to the action?
See,
Wait,
once
wait,
you
wait, where it is
appreciate,
one line. Hmm.
huh?
Yeah, continue, please.
No,
How
this is,
that line is gone. There is a glad acceptance and an appropriate response in terms of action. This is karma yoga. Here, however, Krishna is talking about gunatitva. Where
yeah.
is that
So,
line? An
see,
appropriate response in terms of action because
this
of
is
the
for,
appreciation.
this is for a mumukshu, he's all this.
Because of
But here,
appreciation of Ishvara, there is a glad
uh,
acceptance and an appropriate response in terms of action. So, for which actions is the appropriate response? For Sukha Dukkha?
yes, we learn
Oh,
to appreciate the sukha dukkha as a factual and take them not just objectively but as prasada. Yes,
but
you're
there
right.
is a action again, no? For that, if it is a Dukkha, then he will do the appropriate action to come out of it. If he has Sukha, he will not. Means everybody wants to come out of Dukkha, so he will take appropriate action there, no? Or
Yeah,
not like this.
yeah, normal people will do, but here he is talking about a gunatita who will accept whether pleasant situation or unpleasant situation. He is not going to resist them. He will accept them as uh, a prasada from Ishvara because his goal is Ishvara, no? So his appreciation is because of the appreciation of Ishvara, there is a glad acceptance
So
and
he
approach.
accepted. He
Yeah,
accepted whatever the Sukha or Dukkha as same and an appropriate response in terms of action. So this line I couldn't understand. An appropriate response in terms of action.
as a gunatita, this is what I understand. As a gunatita, the appropriate response would be nothing, indifference, because he knows that it is from the gunas. The sukha dukkha is coming from business of the interaction of the gunas. So, as a gunatita, he will be indifferent. But uh, mumukshu or somebody who's on this path, moving towards a gunatita, I think, this is what I think, we will appreciate this as a prasada from Ishvara and feel grateful. So that would be the response in terms of action, I think. I will feel grateful for whatever the situation is, guna,
Okay,
sukha,
okay.
dukkha.
Yeah, no problem.
And then
Yeah,
I
thanks.
realize as this is what is God has given me for my growth,
Prasad. Hmm.
I will feel grateful. That's what I think, and that is what whatever your action, that is karma yoga. That is what Bhagavan says. Appropriate response in terms of action. This is karma yoga. A gunatita is beyond all this, isn't it?
Hmm. Thank you.
Am I right? I don't know.
I think even if he is Gunatita, the actions will be there. So he will take the appropriate action. This is what I understand.
Yeah, but earlier he said no, the conduct of a
He is
wise man.
indifferent. He is
Ah,
indifferent to that. But
yeah.
still, when we are in a world, somewhere in before that, because of the world and all that lines, so he will take actions.
Yeah, it is open for everybody to discuss. I understood it like this. I don't know how everyone else understood. Will a Gunatita take action? What appropriate action will he take? Again, according to the world only, no?
Yeah, yeah. At a certain level, he will be mm, above that gunas. But in the world, he will take actions. I think so.
Okay.
Yes, and he will take, because nobody will be without karma, without actions all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you continue, please.
Yeah. So Krishna is talking about a gunatita. If there is a sukha seen in the mind created by sattva guna or dukkha created by rajas, all of which are possible for him because of the various situations that present themselves, he takes them as the same. He is not affected by either. So nothing is mentioned about what action he is taking. It says he is not affected by either. So probably Krishna will explain later on what action he will take. Let's see.
Yeah, yeah.
Swastha has two meanings. The one who abides in oneself, Swa Atmani Tishtati. His appreciation of I is in Sat Chit Ananda Atma, which is beyond the gunas. The other meaning is the one who is happy, where swastha means to be content or happy. It means swasmin tishtati. That is, no matter what happens in the mind or in the external world, he is happy with himself. Sama loshtasma kankane. Samaloshtasma kankane. In an expression, we saw
Samaloshtaka Kanchana means Sona, means gold, Kanchana.
okay.
Samaloshtaka Kanchana.
Samaloshtasma kanchana. In an expression we saw in the 6th chapter, loshta, a clod of earth, asma, a stone, or kanchana, gold, are all the same for him. All belong to the earth, and in his vision there is no difference between them. It is very clear to him that any value that one has over the other is superimposed and subjective. He recognizes that gold is a rare, malleable, shining metal, but it does not offer him any more security than a rock. It is not going to improve his gunatitatva. Gunatitatva. Further, he is the same in desirable and undesirable situation. Tulya, Priya, Apriya. The pleasant and unpleasant situation, Priya and Apriya do not disturb this wise man, not because of his attitude, but because of his wisdom. And whether he is subject to censure, ninda, or praise of himself, Atma Samtushtiti, Atma Samstuti. He does not feel diminished or flattered. He is the same. Atma cannot be flattered by any concept of greatness, nor can it be damaged by any misperception of it. He does not undergo any change, remaining equal in mana, respect, and apamana, insult or rejection. Every individual will experience these two things without exception because people praise or criticize others according to their own understanding and value structure. Whether a person is wise or not, he is going to be exposed to censure and pain. In the same way, people may physically pay him respect or insult and reject him. But one who is above the gunas does not subject himself to their influence and is therefore the same whatever comes, ninda or stuti, mana or apamana. Further, he is equal to the view of a mitra, friend, or an ari, enemy. Tulya Mitra Ari Prakashyoha. Question here is, how does he create an enemy? Flattery and censure are possible because of differing value structures. But how can a wise man become an enemy to somebody? Shankara, anticipating this, makes a note here. Even though the wise man is impartial due to his own disposition and therefore has no enmity towards anyone, still others who relate to him can look upon him as a friend or enemy according to their own disposition. However they view him, he does not internalize the emotions and actions of others because he knows these are all products of their own gunas. Neither he has anything to do with them, nor have they in essence. Therefore, there is no enemy or even friend for him in the sense that both are same in his vision. Then a very interesting thing is said of this wise man. He is one who renounces all undertaking, sarvaramba parityagi. Aramba is something that is begun, a particular course of action for the purpose of some achievement, which will make the person different. Being dissatisfied with himself or herself, a person seeks satisfaction through some form of success. Varieties of desires stem from this sense of dissatisfaction, and there is a demand for them to be fulfilled. Because of this pressure, there is an aramba. Something is begun by one's will in order to accomplish an end. The wise man is one who has given up all these, who has given all these up. Giving up, as we normally understand it, implies a sense of loss. On a pilgrimage, it is customary to give up something you like. That is why when people visit temples like Tirupati, they remove their hair completely as an offering to the Lord because there is so much ego involved in one's hair, which is a very appropriate and also difficult offering to make. Even though a devotee has given up his hair and is therefore a tyagi, you will find him wearing a cap for some time. Why? Because there is a sense of loss. Now, parityagi is a person who does not have any such feeling. When you put out the garbage for collection, what sense of loss do you have? That kind of giving up is possible only when the self is not seen as wanting, but as a complete being. Without that, there is no possibility of remaining free from a sense of want. The one who is above all three gunas finds that one is complete and therefore without a need to begin any undertaking. But we do find Shankara writing a commentary here. So here is an aramba for him. Verse after verse he comments upon for 17 chapters. And before that, he wrote an introduction. Besides this commentary, he wrote a monumental work on the Brahma Sutras, arguing consistently for every sutra and commented at length on the 10 Upanishads, in addition to composing other Prakarana Granthas. How could he do all this without beginning Aramba? No one, not even Krishna teaching Gita, can do anything without Aramba. Whether one is a Gunatita or bound by the Gunas, he has to undertake to do things. No one can therefore be without an Aramba. Therefore, Aramba, an undertaking, is here restricted to mean and understanding. Here is restricted to mean and understanding, which has its roots in a sense of dissatisfaction. So here comes your answer. It has its roots in a sense of dissatisfaction and is meant to make the person better than what he or she is now. The undertakings of one who is a gunatita, apart from those to maintain his body and purely for the welfare of the people, loka sankraha arthatam, arthatam, loka sankra artham.
Lokasangrahartham. Lokasangrahartham.
That is why in India, the authors of so many great works are not known. Wow. They did not care for history because they were concerned with eternity. It was all regarded as Bhagavan's history in the sense that it is all an expression of his glory. Many works were out without signature. So you got the answer, Sarlaji?
Yes, dear, yes.
Any wise person undertakes a work not for personal glory, etc., but purely for the benefit of others. There is another way of looking at it. You may say that it is his prarabdha. From the standpoint of the benefit derived by people who can say Shankara wrote all his works for their benefit, or from his own standpoint, it is his prarabdha karma to serve in this particular form. He was endowed with certain faculties which express themselves either because of his prarabdha or our good prarabdha. The point is, he does not gain anything from it. Lord Krishna has said this very well in the 3rd chapter. For me, there is nothing at all to be done in the 3 worlds, Arjuna. There is nothing not yet gained that is to be gained with reference to karma. And yet I am engaged in activity. Name partha asti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana na anavaptam avaptam avaptavyam varta evacha karmani. Some people, though they have nothing to accomplish in this world, are busy here preparing to go to the next world. But Krishna has nothing to gain anywhere at any time, and yet he is always engaged in activities. So Gunatita's activities are always for the benefit of the others. It is the same for a wise man. That is freedom. More in action than from it. Wow. That is freedom, more in action than from it. So much of emphasis on action, no? And how to act. Right from 2nd chapter. These 4 verses point out the spontaneous expressions of a gunatita. They can also serve as guidelines for a mumukshu. Anything that is lacking in terms of such expressions has to be accomplished by the appropriate effort combined with inquiry, vichara. That is the means for gaining gunatitatva. Gunatitatva. So action with enquiry. Appropriate effort with enquiry is the means for gaining gunatitatva. When all these various qualities mentioned here are very clear to him, there is no difficulty in gaining the knowledge that is, he is beyond the gunas. Wherever the characteristic expressions of a wise man are pointed out, they are to be followed by a mumukshu, along with his vichara and prayers as part of his sadhana to become prepared for the knowledge that will fulfill his desire for freedom, mumuksha. One particular means by which he becomes a gunatita is pointed out in the next verse.
Hari
Leela
Om.
ji?
I would love to chant this chapter 3, verse 22. न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन नानवाप्तमवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि. That was explained in the in the previous very beautifully by Lord Krishna. And now the verse 26. मां च यो व्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीत्यैतान् ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते. च यः, and the one who, mam, me, avyabhicharena bhakti yogena, with unswerving devotion, sevate, worships, seeks, saha, he, etan gunan, these gunas, samatitya, having properly crossed, brahma bhuyaya, for being Brahman, kalpate, is fit for. Cha yaha mam avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate saha etan gunan samatitya brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
And the one who with unswerving devotion worships, seeks me, he, having properly crossed these gunas, is fit for being Brahman. One with unswerving devotion is fit for Brahman. As we have seen, with a single exception, wherever Krishna uses the first person singular, as he does here with Mam, he is referring to himself as Ishvara. And that could be as Saguna Brahma, Nirguna Brahma, or Pratyagatma. Shankara says here that the Karma Yogi or Sannyasi who worships, seeks Ishvara, who obtains in the buddhi of all beings as consciousness with unswerving commitment, avyabhicharana bhakti yogena, gains Brahman. Even in an insect, there is the presence of consciousness, and in the human being, it is in the form of I. The one who serves Bhagavan with a commitment in the form of devotion, bhakti, can be either a sannyasi or a karma yogi. These are the only two types of lifestyles whereby a mumukshu can pursue knowledge of Bhagavan. Shankara adds that it is a bhakti in the form of clear knowledge and inquiry. When you inquire into what is true, you are a bhakta because the subject matter is Ishvara. Pursuing the Lord can only be in the form of inquiry, because he is always existent and never away from you. We are not searching for Bhagavan here. We are just trying to see what it is. Bhagavan is not someone who is going to arrive later, either in terms of time or space. In Hindi, there is a beautiful song which calls to the Lord to reveal himself by lighting a lamp in the temple of the mind. In the temple of the mind, as in any other sanctum of a temple, it is dark, and therefore a lamp must be lighted to see the Lord's glory. The song implies that she knows that the Lord is not away from her, but already present in the temple of her mind, which is plunged into darkness. The light required to illumine the Lord's presence is knowledge. She begs the Lord to stop the game of hide and seek and quench the thirst of her eyes for the vision of the Lord. It is hide and seek because now and then the Lord does appear whenever one is happy and appreciative, where there is love, understanding, or some moment of joy. So nice and so correct. So Lord does appear whenever one is happy and appreciative, where there is love, understanding, or some moment of joy. Bhagavan's glory manifests. She implores Bhagavan to open the gates of his grace, which can make the blind see. Blindness here is purely ignorance of Atma and Anatma. If there is grace, Jignasa, the desire to know the truth, all will be born and his blindness will be removed. So this is Mirabai, I think, no? Bhajan. Darshan do Ganashamanta. A bhajan by Mirabai. A real bhakta is one who wants to know what is. He is not pursuing Bhagavan as something separate from himself, but as the content of his own thoughts. Whatever you see here is Bhagavan. So, it is not a question of pursuing, but of seeing. Being all pervasive, Bhagavan is not elsewhere. Being eternal, he is not away in terms of time. Then, where is the question of searching and waiting? A person who knows this has transcended the gunas properly, without any motion, but purely by knowledge. In fact, it is not even transcending because Atma, I, remains always transcendent and always immanent like space. Such a person who knows himself as this Atma becomes one who is fit to be Brahman, because Brahman is not separate from Atma. Thus, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate is fit to become Brahman, means he is Brahman. So beautiful, no? I want to read it again. One with unswerving devotion is fit for being Brahman. As we have seen, with a single exception, wherever Krishna uses the first person singular, he does here with Mam. He is referring to himself as Ishvara. And that could be as Saguna Brahma, Nirguna Brahma, or Pratyekatma. Shankara says here that the Karma Yogi or sannyasi who worships, seeks Ishvara, who obtains in the buddhi of all beings as consciousness with unswerving commitment, avyabhicharana bhakti yogena, he gains Brahman. Even in an insect, there is the presence of consciousness, and in the human being, it is in the form of I, the one who serves Bhagavan with a the, the one who serves Bhagavan with a commitment in the form of devotion, bhakti, can be either a sannyasi or a karma yogi. So these are the only two types of lifestyles whereby a mumukshu can pursue knowledge of Bhagavan. Shankara adds that it is a bhakti in the form of clear knowledge and inquiry. When you inquire into what is true, you are a bhakta because the subject matter is Ishvara. Pursuing the Lord can only be in the form of inquiry because He is always existent and never away from you. We are not searching for Bhagavan here. We are just trying to see what it is. Bhagavan is not someone who is going to arrive later, either in terms of time or space. In Hindi, there is a beautiful song which calls to the Lord to reveal Himself by lighting a lamp in the temple of the mind. In the temple of the mind, as in any other sanctum of a temple, it is dark. And therefore, a lamp must be lighted to see the Lord's glory. The song implies that she knows that the Lord is not away from her, but already present in the temple of her mind, which is plunged into darkness. The light required to illumine the Lord's presence is knowledge. She begs the Lord to stop the game of hide and seek and quench the thirst of her eyes for the vision of the Lord. It is hide and seek because now and then the Lord does appear whenever one is happy and appreciative. Where there is love, understanding, or some moment of joy. Bhagavan's glory manifests. That's why in satsangs you feel the presence more, no? When you sing bhajans. She implores Bhagavan to open the gates of his grace, which can make the blind see. Blindness here is purely ignorance of Atma and Anatma. If there is grace, Jignasa, the desire to know the truth, will be born and his blindness will be removed. A real bhakta is one who wants to know what is. He is not pursuing Bhagavan as something separate from himself, but as the content of his own thoughts. Whatever you see here is Bhagavan. So, it is not a question of pursuing, but seeing. Wow. So seeing Bhagavan in everything. Being all pervasive, Bhagavan is not elsewhere. Being eternal, he is not far away in terms of time. Then, where is the question of searching or waiting? A person who knows this has transcended the gunas properly, without any motion, but purely by knowledge. In fact, it is not even transcending because Atma, I means, remains always transcendent and always immanent like space. Such a person who knows himself as this Atma becomes one who is fit to be Brahman because Brahman is not separate from Atma. Thus, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate is fit to become Brahman's means he is Brahman.
Can you read that line? When he will be happy and appreciate what? There will
Anything,
be the
anything
Ishvara.
you appreciate. You appreciate anything, everything. Because everything, Bhagwan is present in everything, no? He's seeing. He says, no, Bhagwan is in seeing. So Lord appears. That's why Gurudev always says that appreciate everything. Praise, all the praise goes to Bhagwan.
Actually,
Lord appears. Huh?
actually, the thought came, when will you be happy?
Huh.
When? Now only. So,
Yeah, because Bhagwan is not in the future. He's here right now. It's so nice. That I feel, well, Lord, whenever you feel joyful, you feel that presence, and that happens in satsangs when you sing bhajans. There's a
The
lot of joy,
intensity,
and
yeah, the intensity in such places is more. But
mm,
actually, I want to share one this thing. I have heard this stories uh, from the Puranas, that how Krishna used to see each and everything as the divine only. That like someone was there around, and can you see the God? Even this one dog is there around, which is very like sick, and everything in his on his body is like he is his skin is peeling off, and very dirty, you cannot imagine, and the flies are sitting on his body and everything. And there also somebody asked, can you see the divine in this also, Krishna? Krishna says, just look at its teeth, how shining and beautiful they are. Like up to that much extent, if you can see the God and divine everywhere within you and out of you also, because the whole Maya, this manifestation is God only, no? So first of all, start feeling the presence where it is very dense, like when we sit in front of the fan, no, it is very dense, you can feel the air. But wherever we are this moment also, there is air around us, within us, everywhere of us. That much sukshmata, that subtleness should come in us, that we can see and experience the divine every moment, everywhere, in everything. That much
ac-
we need to extend ourselves. I think that is the
actually,
practice.
we all see, means majority of us see the only the lacunas in the situation, person, but we don't see the good thing in him or the situation. That's how we can improve on that part.
Yeah, that will help us more and more to get established into the divine consciousness. No, that is, I think, practice and process, abhyasa.
yeah,
I have a very different question, um, Madhuri ji, and maybe you can answer or Brahmaraji can answer. Now the Chetan, Avachetan, and Chetan. Chetan, Avachetan, and which is the third consciousness?
Achetan,
Chetan, Achetan,
Chetan.
Avachetan.
So, हाँ, so how the गुणातीतत्व जिसको है, उनकी ये तीन चेतना कैसे होगी?
they are the witness to all these three avasthas, no? Like Gurudev. See,
Hmm.
Gurudev, he takes a nap in the afternoon. No, so many people have shared. So many swamis, and even Bhanu Didi has shared it in
Hmm.
Puja, phase one in 2006 or 7. That seemingly Gurudev is literally snoring. Means anybody will say ki he is means deep into sleep. Properly he is snoring, and you can see from his gestures that he is into deep sleep. And anybody who is sitting there and he asks you to read, most of the time it is this thing, what yoga sister or something. And then naturally the person who is reading, no, he or she stops reading so that he will have a proper nap to freshen up himself. And the moment you stop, no, within few seconds he says कि you have read up till this. आगे पढ़ो करके. Like details means he is in that witness consciousness all the time. Turiya avastha he is,
Yes,
no.
same as when we are sleeping, somebody whisper our name, we get up only.
Yeah, but if we are in
Means
deep sleep, we can't hear also, no. Where we
many
hear
times.
when we are in deep
Mm.
sleep.
Mm.
So all beyond the three avasthas means that Turiya avastha, and beyond Turiya also the Turyatit. That is the Parameshwara, all pervading all through and through the universes. That's what Gurudev, that's they say, no, that very rare avatar has come.
Hmm.
Swayam Parameshwara has taken the physical body. That's what even Anandmayi Ma said first time looking
Yeah.
at Gurudev. Hey, Gurudev. We can just
Thank you.
imagine and think, okay, these three are the states, and then beyond that something and all.
Yeah, we are just means absorbing in the knowledge only. We are getting on the knowledge first
Yes,
and
yes.
experiencing it. Mm.
And even if we go into Turyavastha, we are not aware of it. When we come out of it, only like when the dream is going on, we are so much involved into the dream. The moment, even for fraction of second, you wake up and you realize, oh, it was a dream, and then again we go back to sleep. And sometimes we continue dreaming again also. So much ignorance is there. Jai Gurudev.
Yeah. You can read verse 27.
Yeah. Anyone knows Hari Om? Anyone knows this Mirabai's bhajan? Some lines. It's my favorite. It has
To
so beautiful
search on
voice.
YouTube, I suppose.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was
But
planning to do that.
I have got the lyrics. If anyone knows in tune, kindly sing at least one stanza. It's so beautiful bhajan. Yeah, please.
अखियां प्यासे दर्शन दो घनश्याम नाथ द्वार दया का जब
जब
तुम
तुम
खोले
द्वार दया का जब तुम खोले, पंचम सुर में गूंगा बोले,
अंधा
अंधा
देखे
देखे लंगड़ा चल कर पहुँचे काशी में। दर्शन दो घनश्याम नाथ मोरी, अखियाँ प्यासी रे। दर्शन दो घनश्याम, मन मंदिर की ज्योत जगा दो, मन मंदिर की ज्योत जगा दो, घट घट वासे रे। दर्शन दो घनश्याम।
Very beautiful.
Wow. Dhanyavad. So beautiful. Dhanyavad, Dr. Renu and Madhuri ji.
Thanks, Lena. I hope.
Yeah.
That's
Very beautiful and very well sung. Dhanyavad.
It invokes that same feeling in us also, no?
Yes, very true.
Yeah, very beautiful.
Do we have time for one more verse or we?
Yes, you can do one more.
Okay, so 27, we start with 27.
Today's knowledge is so profound, even really.
Yeah.
Yeah. ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम् अमृतस्याव्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च कि indeed aham I am amritasya immortal avyayasya cha which is not subject to change shashvatasya dharmasya cha of the eternal dharma, the basis of everything. Ekantikasya cha sukhasya, which is of the nature of happiness that is not subject to negation. Brahmanaha, of Brahman, pratishtha, the basis. Hi aham amritasya avyayasya cha shashvatasya dharmasya cha ekantikasya cha sukhasya. Shamyatam, I think it is aikantikasya cha. Kindly correct me for my pronunciation if it is aikantikasya cha sukhasya. Brahmanaha pratishtha.
I am the basis indeed of Brahman, which is immortal, not subject to change, the eternal Dharma, the basis of everything, and which is the nature of happiness that is not subject to negation. It was said in the last verse that the one who seeks me with unswerving commitment, avyabhicharana bhakti yogena, is fit to become Brahman. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Bhakti here is a commitment to the pursuit of knowledge, and the root serve typically refers to service, and the root save typically refers to service or treatment that is undergone. Both involve a commitment, but here it means to seek with commitment. Here in this verse, Bhagavan gives the reason why such a bhakta becomes Brahman. Here is the one who pursues Pratyekatma. Here the one who pursues Pratyekatma is Parameshwara. He has the discriminative knowledge that Atma is Sat Chit Ananda, which is Brahman, the cause of creation. Therefore, everything here is Atma. Oh, ah. See, that's one simple thing is enough. That Brahman is the cause of creation, therefore, everything here is Atma. He has this discriminative knowledge that Atma is Sat Chit Ananda, which is Brahman, the cause of creation. Therefore, everything here is Atma. So nice. To account for all activities, when Sat Chit Ananda Atma is unable to perform any action, we say that it is the very nature of the Prakriti, which is composed of the gunas, to engage in action. So we say Swabhava tu pravartate. Swabhavaha tu pravartate. That is, it is the swabhava, nature of the gunas to change constantly, engage in actions. The gunas are transformed into the body-mind-sense complex through which all actions take place. Knowing this, the one who has transcended the gunas does not get involved in their activities. Knowing the Atma is gunatita, he becomes Brahman because Atma is Brahman. Atma is the very basis, Pratishta of Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So Atma is the very basis of Pratishta of Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Elsewhere, it is clearly stated that Brahman is the Pratishta of everything. And here Bhagavan says, I am the basis of Brahman. Wow. Shall we stop here? Any manana on this? Just this much. We'll continue tomorrow. There's quite a few pages, I think, to cover. Or should you want me to continue? Say something.
I think what time is it now? Like I can't see the time here.
We've got 10 more minutes to complete the session. 11
okay.
more minutes. 11 more minutes to complete the session. So either we do some manana or we read a little more. But it will be in a bit of a... It's here.
Can you repeat
You can
reading or
complete it.
whatever
So
you
anyway,
have?
then we
Whatever I
have to
have
read
read.
it again.
Yeah, right. Read
It was
again.
said
You
in
want to?
Yeah?
No, I thought if you complete it and then we'll start read it again tomorrow, the whole thing, because it's a long one, right? And
Yeah, it's
also
a long one, and I'm sure there will be lots to take in. I'll just read up to what I read till now.
Okay.
I am the basis indeed of Brahman, which is immortal, not subject to change, the eternal Dharma, the basis of everything, and which is the nature of happiness, and that is not subject to negation. So he says he is Satya Chitta Ananda. And of Brahma is Satchitanandam, and Bhagavan is the basis of Brahman. It was said in the last
So
verse.
when we see this way, when we say I am the basis indeed of Brahman, it is immortal. For Jiva, the Atma is the basis, right? Like that. For Ishvara, the Brahman is the basis. That's how we have to take it here.
We are not to separate it. They are all same.
Yeah.
They are all same. Same one Atma.
No, yeah, one Atma, but it is saying like Brahman, I am the basis indeed of Brahman.
I am the basis means you also involved. There is no someone.
This is the Bhagavan is saying, right? So I'm
No,
just
Bhagavan is saying
about
means
that.
you are also Bhagavan. No. You are forgetting that.
Because he says
Aham
when he left
Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi.
It's true. It's true. We are all, uniting together.
So
Then
we cannot think that he is saying and he is and we are not.
I am
When he says
the
that,
basis.
it implies that.
Hariom, here when he says, when Bhagavan says, I am the basis indeed of Brahman, which is immortal, I think he is talking about his Swarupa. Swabhava is the guna, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, but he is beyond that. Swabhava keeps changing. But Swarupa, which is Sat Chit Ananda, which never changes, it remains unaffected. So that which is immortal, and we are also that Satchit Ananda Swarupa. So I think Bhagwan is talking about that which does not change, it does not get affected.
Yeah, he is everywhere and like Pratyagatma in everyone. And so he's the basis for everything existing also. Whatever is there here, we can see in a name and form also. It is there only also. It is there also. So everything which is visible, non-visible, that basis is Brahman only. Rupa and Arupa. This is my understanding. Brahman is all pervading. Atma is all pervading. So it's like that.
I think we are getting caught up with lot of terminology. We have to get it.
Her question is also correct because there are categories, Ishvara and all that. No, that can be also a true question, means right question. It's not a wrong.
Well, I'm not saying about question. I'm saying in our mind.
Yeah. But we have a distinction, Ishvara, Brahma. But the word is used different in different chapters and different ways. Like Ishvara, Paramatma, then many words are synonymous somewhere. Somewhere is distinctive, like Ishvara and Paramatma. Sorry if I'm wrong, but this is what I understood.
Nobody is right or wrong in whatever we have to get that clarity in our own head. No, so we can ask whatever we want and say whatever is our understanding. I think as we read, we'll get more and more clearer. And maybe we have to go back to all these nomenclature on our own for our own understanding so that we fit it in properly. Otherwise, there's a tendency to get confused because one's understanding is something else. Another person will have a different understanding. So I think, again, I don't know, because I also get confused with Brahman and all that. But just before earlier he said no, when he refers to Mam, he refers to Ishvara. Bhagwan is referring to himself as Ishvara. So I got clarity on that.
You're correct.
Because earlier I was confusing Brahman separate, Ishvara separate and all that. But today I got this. That Bhagwan is Ishvara. He is Brahman. I am the basis indeed of Brahman, which is immortal, not subject to change, the eternal Dharma, the basis of everything, and which is the nature of happiness, that is not subject to negation. It was said in the last verse that the one who seeks me with unswerving commitment, Abhyavicharana Bhakti Yogena, is fit to become Brahman. Brahmavyuyaha kalpate. Bhakti here is a commitment to the pursuit of knowledge. And the root save typically refers to service or treatment that is undergone. Both involve a commitment, but here it means to seek with commitment. Seek knowledge with commitment. Here in this verse, Bhagavan gives the reason why such a bhakta becomes a Brahman. Here, the one who pursues Pratyekatma is Parameshwara. Wow, wow. The one who pursues the Pratyekatma is Parameshwara. So that is what, no, rediscovering yourself. That's what this is. He has the discriminative knowledge. The Atma is Sat Chit Ananda, which is Brahman, the cause of creation. Therefore, everything here is Atma. So Atma, Brahman, is all the same, just different expressions, words used, I feel. And that comforts my understanding. To account for all activities, when Sat
I
Chit,
remember that bhajan, रूप भी हूँ अरूप भी हूँ मैं हूँ मंजिल मैं हूँ. In that रूप and arup both everywhere it is present.
To account for all activities, when Sat Chit Ananda is unable to perform any action. To account for all activities, when Sat Chit Ananda Atma is unable to perform any action, we say that it is the very nature of the Prakriti that is composed of the gunas to engage in action. So nice. So Atma does not do any action. So it is the Prakriti which engages in action. We say Swabhava tu pravartate. That is, it is the Swabhava, nature of the gunas to change constantly, engage in actions. The gunas are transformed into the body-mind sense complex through which all actions take place. Knowing this, the one who has transcended the gunas does not get involved in their activities. So once you know this, you're not getting involved in the activities of the gunas. Knowing that Atma is Gunatita, he becomes Brahman because Atma is Brahman. See, Atma is Brahman. Atma is the very basis, Pratishta of Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Elsewhere, it is clearly stated that Brahman is the Pratishta of everything. And here Bhagavan says, I am the basis of Brahman. I think we will stop here for now. Lots to revel in.
Yes, Sumaji, we can stop for Manana. Yeah, we can stop here, Sumaji.
So let's close our eyes. Just whatever is flowing in your mind, just be with it. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Brahma Jnanavadi.
Yeah, I'll play that.
So you did the last sloka today, but then probably we'll be able to read that again
We'll do
tomorrow.
it again tomorrow. Yeah, we just only saw the part about.
But you did the 25 and yesterday 23, 24, 25.
Yesterday we did 23, 24, 25. Today we continued with 23, 24, 25, 26. And we just read 27.
27. Okay, thanks.
Only what Bhagwan said, but what Shankara's expansion on that we didn't read.
Save you thousands of dollars.
We'll read that tomorrow. I'll play the Brahmanyanavali now. One minute.
असङ्गोऽहं पुनः पुनः सच्चिदानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्यशुद्धविमुक्तोऽहम् निराकारोऽहमव्ययः भूमानन्दस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्योऽहं निरवद्योऽहम् निराकारोऽहमच्युतः परमानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः शुद्धचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् आत्मा रामोऽहमेव च अखण्डानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रत्यक्षचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् शान्तोऽहं प्रकृतेः परः शाश्वतानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तत्त्वातीतपरात्माहम् मध्यातीतः परशिवः मायातीतपरञ्ज्योतिः अहमेवाहमव्ययः नानारूपव्यतीतोऽहम् चिदाकारोऽहमच्युतः सुखरूपस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः माया तत्कार्यदेहादि मम नास्त्येव सर्वदा स्वप्रकाशैकरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः गुणत्रयव्यतीतोऽहम् ब्रह्मादीनां च साक्ष्यहम् अनन्तानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः अन्तर्ज्योतिस्वरूपोऽहम् कूटस्थः सर्वगोऽस्म्यहम् सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहं सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम्
Jai Guru.